And let's head to the phone lines right now to talk to somebody who is very, very familiar with James Harden. Ron Hughley, he does afternoons in Houston. Ron, how you doing today, my man?
I'm good, man. I know you just pissed off a lot of Knicks fans by the way you just flippantly just dismissed them as just being the Knicks. The way you did that, if I was a Knicks fan, I'd be smoking hot the way you just said that.
Ron, they're the Knicks. Come on now. I mean, you tell me you believe in this Knicks team. You were telling me that when we get to May and June, you think the Knicks are going to the – I'm supposed to believe in a team whose best player is 6'1", and their second best player is Karl Anthony Towns, who they have been trying to trade for a year. No, the Knicks are not going to the NBA Finals.
Of course I don't believe that, but the way that you just flippantly, I need you to give me, if I'm a Knicks fan, I need you to give me a little bit of an emotion of why you don't believe in us. Not just say, hell, man. The way you broke it down for the Cavs, I need that if I'm a Knicks fan. You can't do it just, hell, they're the Knicks, man. Come on, guys.
Yeah, they're the Knicks. So we were talking about this, Ron, and you know this as well as anybody, somebody who has done afternoons in Houston in quite some time. So I'm filling in for Nick Kostos. The show is called You Better You Bet. They told me I needed a bet. So I'm like, all right, let me start going through the apps. Let me start figuring it out. So then I go to Eastern Conference winner. And then I see that Cleveland is the favorite. At first, I thought my phone was broken. I thought my phone was back in 2016. I thought something was off with the settings. So I checked. Yes, it said 2026. And then I remembered that James Harden was on their team. There's no chance that you're going to tell me that the favorite in either the Eastern or the Western Conference has James Harden as one of their best players, and you think they're going to win 3 playoff series to get to the NBA Final. There's no shot in that.
In this scenario, I understand it. Because just based off what you just talked about, and when you were talking about, I think, the Spurs and some of the West teams, right? Like the Pistons, they got their heart broken last year by those, just the Knicks. And but that's the most of the playoff experience they have. So you can see they haven't gone deep, even when we thought OKC was going to be really, really good. It took them another year to lose, in the second round before they were able to make that hop. And you look at it, as we just both said, we don't believe in the Knicks, and we'll see what happens with Tatum in Boston because obviously they have that pedigree, but that's not something I would bet on. But this is a Cavs team that has experience, and then the other part of this is, now this is all dependent on what James feels like being, but James doesn't have to be the focal point, right? Donovan Mitchell is the best player. Now, I don't know how much you feel good about Donovan Mitchell leading you, but against this field, I can understand it because they've been there and they're not relying on Harden to be the Batman. So I can get that from that standpoint.
Ron, something tells me that. I'm just going to guess that you spent a lot of afternoons trying to talk yourself into, you know what, this James Harden thing might work. And no, we know it's not going to work. No,
I'm not talking about when it's just James. But if somebody else is James is playing second fiddle, to me, I thought the James and KD thing could work when he's playing second fiddle. Now James, now again, it depends on if James takes a turn in Cleveland and just says, "Yeah, I don't really want to go with the plan." Then you got something else, but. This field, I could see how they rise to the top.
I'm going to guess that you're also believing in Buffalo and Josh Allen to break through this year in the NFL?
No, I do not. I do not because their field is not this one. All right? Now, I'll be honest with you. I thought they had a shot last year when that field broke out, and maybe James will do what Buffalo did. But no, the field is a little different. It's Cade Cunningham and whoever the 2 is in Detroit that stops them. James does not have to be great and rise to the occasion for this team to get past the Knicks, Pistons, and the Magic.
Right now, we're talking to Ron Hughley. He is a believer in James Harden and Josh Allen. That's what we are learning far this morning. That's what I love about this.
We just got
belief
That's not
everywhere.
What I said. That is not what I said. I'm a believer of Donovan Mitchell and the cast and the field. All right. That is what I'm a believer of.
I'll let that slide. So we were talking about this to open up the show today. To me, we spend way too much time worried about the wrong things with the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are not going anywhere. I know that, you know that, and I think they know that. We just need to enjoy it for what it is. It is a fun experiment that is about to end in about 6 weeks because I think we have enough data. We've been at this now for a year. For whatever reason, Luka and LeBron, this version of LeBron, they just don't really work together. And I think we have an idea of the kind of parts and pieces that Luka needs to be around. We've seen Luka take a team to an NBA championship before, but you need a certain level of athleticism. You need a certain measure of rim protection around him in order to make that work. And the Lakers, they can no longer build for a team with LeBron. They need to build a team around the strengths and weaknesses of Luka Doncic, and that is clearly the future for this team.
I'm going to tell you, as somebody who is the biggest LeBron James fan this side of Gloria James, I'm not having very much fun watching this. I don't know what kind of fun experiment you're watching. I sat there and just turned to doing dishes last night after watching what they did in the second half against the Suns that had Grayson Allen, who was leading the charge to beat them. Listen, it doesn't work. Austin Reeves in there, when you start to put that many bad defenders in there, and then you say to yourself, let's get another bad one in here and a guy who doesn't really give a rip. You never know how he feels, a guy who turned down a ride to the arena in a snowstorm. They didn't want him to drive, but DeAndre Ayton turned it down and just missed the game and refused to go. They got that guy added onto it. I watched them on a break. Nobody got inside the 3-point line on a fast break, and they all turned around to go watch a Phoenix Sun get a dunk to push the lead to 10 in the fourth quarter. It is just awful. And I can't believe I said this. I brought this up. We talked about this on the show yesterday, and this is very hard for me, right? Like, LeBron is at the top for me. It's time, man. It's time. That I know he's still averaging almost 22, 6, and 7, whatever it is, 7 and 5 or whatever. It's hard. This is the hardest it's been to watch him and to see him come down. Like, he's getting into third or fourth option territory. The way he looks, it's not all the time. Sometimes he has his moments, but other times you look at it and Carrington, and it's like, man, bro, he needs to just shut this thing on down. And I think it's time. I've never felt that way. I've wanted to watch him continue to just defy the odds, but Carrington, just watching him, like, I'm just like, there are times when I feel like Bronny has crawled into his body, and that's where he is. And so I think they need to shut a whole lot down with the Lakers and do what you said with Luka's strength. But I think I've never felt it's more time for LeBron to shut it down.
It's just funny to me because we all have been in the scenario where you look outside and you look at the weather and it's raining or it's snowing and you're thinking, I'm not going outside today. I can't imagine doing that as an NBA player. DeAndre Ayton looked outside and saw the weather and said, no, I'm good right here. We got more games coming up this season.
They said we'll send somebody to come and get you. So
he still said I'm good. He said I'm all right.
He said I'm good.
He said we got snacks, we got Wi-Fi, we got Netflix in here. I don't need to go anywhere. Rob, when you look at this team that the Lakers just lost to, like, I'm one of those people that believe that we have put together a college team that on a certain night could catch an NBA team. Like, that's my sports hot takes, especially with how young the NBA has gotten and how teams shoot threes. The Lakers lost to a team with Royce O'Neal, Ryan Dunn, Mark Williams, Colin Gillespie, Jalen Green, and Grayson Allen, who was 9 of 24 for the field. That team is terrible. You cannot lose to that team, especially when you're fully healthy. You had your normal starting 5 and your normal bench. There's no reason why the Lakers should have lost to that team last night.
Man, I'm listening to the announcers talking about, man, they've got 21 threes. Hell yeah, they do. They're just standing alone. That's the only thing that any of those guys can do, just standing. There's one time with the game and the balance, and Luka and AR got caught on a switch, and they both just ran to the middle of the paint and just left Grayson Allen by himself. to just shoot a wide open three. They do that routinely, man. It is ridiculous. I don't know how they're the 6th seed. I really don't. I mean, this sounds crazy. It feels like one of the three, specifically not Luka, but it feels like one of the three needs to get injured because they seem to play better when it's just two of them. Because it is just, oh my God, it is a rough watch, an absolute rough watch.
I just thought of this. You know what the best thing would be for the NBA is? The best thing for the NBA would be for the Lakers to be last year's Mavericks and to get the number 1 overall pick. That's what we need.
Yep.
With all this conversation about tanking, you know how mad people would be if the Lakers got the number 1 overall pick and then they compare Luka with any one of these talented freshmen in college basketball? I'm always here for just NBA calamity. That's what we need.
Yeah, could you imagine the Darren Peterson story going on over there to L.A.? That would be fantastic. Yeah, man, it's like they just have the amount of don't give a rips that the Lakers have defensively is just insane. It's not even that it's not only that they're just not really good defenders when you put LeBron at this age right now and Luka. I mean, when you got Grayson Allen hunting the Luka switch and just going past you, and you knew they tie the game. I'm sitting there like they're gonna get a good shot. It's just if they're gonna make it, and somehow they get the switch, and Grayson Allen immediately goes past Luka and creates a situation of help. And Royce O'Neal is standing by himself for 5 minutes for an open three. Like it's not even that they're bad; they just don't even give a damn sometimes to even run back. None of them. It is. When you've lost Marcus Smart defensively, like you got a problem. That's the only thing he does.
Right now, we're talking to Ron Hughley. He does afternoons in Houston. For those of you that don't know Ron Hughley, he was a lost child. He had a choice. There was a fork in the road. He had a choice to cheer for the Missouri Tigers or cheer for the Kansas Jayhawks. He made the wrong decision in life, and now he cheers for the Kansas Jayhawks. He cheers for the dark side. As a Kansas basketball fan, what has it been like this season to watch Darren Peterson with unlimited PTO?
Listen, the whole situation is frustrating, and it is. I find it really interesting how far it is now taken off. I don't know what happened, Carrington. I'm guessing the NBA All-Star break occurred, but whatever it was 2 weeks ago in that Oklahoma State game, I don't know if he knew it was going to hit the fan or the rest of the program knew it was, but after that day, whoa, it hit the fan, Jack. And it is really fun. And, you know, when we're in this business and you see this happen where it is like kind of a niche thing that now everybody's going to pick up. And now you just hear people coming out with like different things. I have heard the story of him getting sick against Arizona where he came out to warm up, and they found out, as Bill said after the game, probably an hour before the game, that he wasn't. That has been dwindled down to 2 minutes before the game. I heard Seth Greenberg say 2 minutes before the game, he told Bill Self that he wasn't going to play. I just think, I don't know, man. It's a weird situation. I think to me, the number one thing is I think it's been long overdue to hear from him. I've listened to you do the afternoon show, and I think you've been talking about that for weeks. Like, we need to hear from him. After the Oklahoma State game, I was like, they need to run a trainer and him out here to tell us exactly what the hell is going on, because Bill Self being left up to do it, that's just not working. But no, man, it's just a crazy situation, frustrating all around. And I don't know about you. I don't just come at it immediately thinking the absolute worst, because some of it doesn't make sense. Like, if it was just about the money or saving himself, why would he even play? But I feel like a lot of people are running into this story and immediately coming in thinking the absolute worst. I think there is something to talk about. I think this is excessive and it is not usual, but it does feel like people are coming in with just the absolute worst in their minds from this kid.
I'll get you out of here with this last thing. We were kicking this around as a group. This is a football question. We had our big breaking news during the coaching cycle. The Ravens firing their head coach was a big breaking news story. I'm sure you guys covered it on your show. Buffalo making the decision to move on from their head coach was a big breaking news story. Everybody in the NFL is talking about it. We haven't had that yet from a player perspective this offseason in the National Football League. I'm looking at A.J. Brown's trade being that first domino to fall. I think he's getting traded here immediately after the Combine. I think once everybody leaves Indianapolis, I think there's going to be a conversation that's going to be had in Indy that we're going to find out about, that the Eagles have just finally determined this is not going to work anymore. They're shopping him around. They're seeing what his value is. And there's going to be a team like Buffalo, like New England, like Denver in the AFC that desperately needs a wide receiver that is willing to trade a second-round pick for A.J. Brown. That's the first domino I think is going to fall. What do you think it is?
Maybe. I mean, I guess it is a domino, but it's one that I've just it's almost like, oh, Tyreek Hill, who's he going to play for next year? Oh, I don't know, the Chiefs. It's almost like one that is expected, right? So it is a domino. For me, my thinking is Max Crosby. I think Max Crosby potentially to the Bears. That to me is a big one where I know A.J. Brown's going to get traded. That minute that man A.J. Brown went on with the Julian Edelman and them and did the wink thing when they said, "Are you a Patriot?" and then Nick Sirianni follows it up with, "I don't know if he's going to be on the team next year." I mean, that was all she wrote. Max Crosby is the one to me that would be a big one because I think it changes really everything. So AJ, I expect. Max Crosby, I don't think is going to be a Raider. I think that's going to be the huge one because I think it may change a lot of how the league looks.
That is our guy, Ron the Show Hughley. He does fantastic work out of Houston. He is their afternoon host. He's one of my favorite sports talk hosts in the country. Ron, man, it was great to talk sports with you this morning, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Absolutely. That is Ron the Show Hughley joining us on the show. Coming up on the other side, I want to tell you guys a quick personal story about myself.